Hello and welcome back to Padho to Aise. We are discussing 1000 most important question for UGC NET JRF Political Science Paper 2. This is lecture number 4. We already have discussed 3 other lecture. The questions are of good standards. So we follow the standard of UGC NET. It is not like that, okay, this is the free session, so you are not going to get the good question out of it. Myself, Abhishek Kumar Mishra, 3 times UGC NET JRF qualified, quote unquote, in political science, instructor in US and PhD scholar. If you want to see our test series and notes, etc., then you can visit our website. Also, you can download our app from Google Play Store. Padho to Aise. Let us go to the question straight away. So, question number 1. We are discussing Western political thought. We have already covered 3 lectures where we have discussed around 75 questions related to political theory. So, let us discuss question number 1. So over here it says, which of the following statement about Socrates' philosophy are correct? Statement number 1, Socrates believed that virtue is knowledge and cannot be taught. Second statement is, he left behind no written works. His philosophy is known through Plato's dialogue. The third one is, Socrates advocated for the sophist method of teaching. And the fourth one is, his method of questioning is called the Socratic method. So try to answer this question by yourself. Okay, let us find the answer for this. So over here, the statement number third is not correct. So we are going to eliminate the statement number three. If you see option D can be eliminated, C and B can be eliminated because over there we can find option number three. So therefore, correct answer is going to be option number A. Let us understand why it is. First of all, Socrates does believe that the virtue is knowledge and virtue cannot be taught to any person, right? Actually, the people are born with that kind of virtue. That is called the innate knowledge theory. Right, there are two kind of knowledge theories, that is called like knowledge theory, and other one is called the empirical knowledge theory. So innate knowledge theory says that people know everything by their birth. They don't have to learn anything, because this is not just one birth what they have taken. So people, they continue the cycle of birth and death. So therefore they have been doctor in some other life, they have been engineer in some other life. So they just have to recollect their memory. They know everything by default by their birth. When they recollect their memory, they could understand each and everything. This is called the innate knowledge theory, that the knowledge is from the birth itself. On the other hand, there is the empirical knowledge theory which is being promoted by these sophist people. Sophist people were the group of scholars who were contemporary to Socrates and Plato, and they always said that you don't have to, just like rely on your innate knowledge. You can gain the knowledge through experience. They were giving more importance to reasoning and mathematics. On the other side, the Socratic education system, it focused more on philosophy, more on like asking the question and arriving at the ultimate truth in the philosophical domain. They're not much worried about geometry, mathematics, and reasoning, right? So if suppose sophist would be today, then sophist would be respected more as compared to the Socrates. Why? Let us understand this. Because today we are more focusing on website development, coding, and all. So the sophists were doing some similar kind of things. Okay. So therefore, the sophist method of teaching was not advocated by Socrates. Sophists were the group of philosopher, the other philosopher who actually more focused on the empirical knowledge rather than the innate knowledge or the normative knowledge. So statement number three is wrong. Okay, also the questioning method is called the Socratic method, where you are asking the question, you keep on asking the question until and unless you are not arriving on the correct answer. When we were studying in Delhi University, there is one of the professor. She is really one of my favorite professor. Her name is Madhulika Banerjee. So Madhulika ma'am, for the first time when she entered the class, I learned for the first time that how this Socratic method of teaching works. And when I teach sometime to my student in offline classroom, I do follow this method. I keep on asking the question to my student. A time comes when they come with the correct answer. I don't need to tell them the correct answer. Okay, this would be the correct answer. They think by themselves. So this is what the Socratic method is all about. Now, statement second is also correct because nothing is left by Socrates, like nothing written record is there, which is like which can be found, which was originally written by Socrates, right? Everything, whatever we came to know about Socrates, we came to know through the Plato's writings and books, actually, right? So, therefore, question number one has the correct statement, that is option number A. I hope you get the point. Let us go to the second question. Now, what they are saying is, they are saying that arrange the following works of Plato in the chronological order. So, first of all, the fourth one was written. Apology was the first book which was written, okay? And then the Phaedo was the book which was written at last. So, let me search the option where it start from 4 and end at 3. So it is option number A. So if you see the chronology that how the books were written, so first one is fourth, that means the Apology was written, then Creto was written, then number one, the Republic was written, and the third one, the Phaedo was written. So you can remember the chronology. These are important books. In fact, these are the important book of Plato. You could also remember that. Okay. Let us go to the next question. Now, Aristotle gave the theory of causation. He talked about the four causes. If there is any matter which is existing around us, there must be the four causes behind it. First one is the purpose, then the structure, right? A lot of things are there. So let us understand this, okay? So statement number one says Aristotle introduced the concept of four causes to explain the change and existence. Exactly, I told you right now that there are the four causes identified by Aristotle in order to explain the existence of any matter around us. Now let us go to the second one. The material cause refer to the purpose for which an object exists. Okay, that's not true actually. The material cause is not for the purpose. Okay, understand my point, right? So, material cause is about the matter which is constituting that, right? Like if you are talking about a table, so the material cause of a wooden table would be the wood itself because it is made by the wood. Or if there is a steel table, then steel is the material cause for it, right? I hope you are getting the point. Actually, final cause is explaining that what is the ultimate purpose or end of any object. So final cause and material cause can't be same because they both are the contradictory statements. Okay. So either second could be correct or third could be correct. So as I told you, the third one is correct because final cause is all about the ultimate purpose, okay, of any matter. Talk about table. So what is the ultimate purpose of table? To serve the humanity. We could eat over there, we can dine together, we can study over there. So these are some of the purpose of or end, right? That is called telos. Okay, in the terms of Greek philosophy. I hope you get the point. And formal cause is dealing with the shape or structure of an object. So that means option number second is wrong and rest of them are correct. So let us cancel this one and therefore this could be cancelled out, this one and this could be eliminated. So option number B is the correct answer for this question. Let us go to question number 4. Okay. Now let us understand. Over here they said, which of the following correctly matches book with their authors and ideas? Okay, so first one is Cicero. He wrote a book called De Republica, which talks about the mixed government, right? Also, the Cicero talks about natural law, very important. Saint Augustine, he wrote the book City of God, which talk about the spiritual city and the eternal truth, right? Like in see, actually, when you talk about Saint Augustine, he talks about two city in the city of God. He says that there is a city of man and there is city of God. So city of man is full of sins, full of stupidity. On the other hand, when you talk about the city of God, so city of God is like very pure. Pure souls are like living there. It is free of sin. So one should always try to, strive for the city of God. They should do such karmas, such action, such effort in their life that they could achieve city of God. They could live in city of God as compared to the city of man. So this is the spiritual city as eternal truth. That's also true. Talk about Saint Thomas Aquinas. So he wrote the book called Summa Theologica. That's also correct. Summa Theologica was written by Saint Aquinas, and he is known for the synthesis of, actually he merged the Aristotle's philosophy with the Christianity. So he is very famous. This is very important. Actually, remember that. Okay. So Aquinas is the person who revived the Aristotle, because people didn't knew about Aristotle in the medieval ages because they were the ancient thinker. But this credit of reviving Aristotle again goes to Saint Aquinas. This is important what we have to understand. Now the last one is Dante. So Dante wrote a Divine Comedy, and it is advocating the Renaissance humanism. That's wrong actually. These all thinkers are belonging to the medieval period. And in medieval period, they were talking about religion, not about Renaissance. So Renaissance is like revival of the human consciousness. reawakening of the human consciousness. It was not done in the medieval ages, right? And later on, if you see, Machiavelli came and other thinkers came. There was, like Rene Descartes was there, and a lot of different thinkers were there who talked about Renaissance and humanism. So therefore, Dante wrote Divine Comedy. That's true, but this Divine Comedy was focusing on the medieval Christian theology rather than on, the Renaissance humanism. So that's wrong. So option fourth is wrong. Rest of them are correct. So option number A is the correct answer. Okay, I hope you get the point. So option A would be correct for this. Now let us go to the next one. Okay, which of the following statement about Niccolo Machiavelli political ideas are correct? Machiavelli believed that the ruler should always act morally to maintain their authority. This is the first statement. The second one is he argued that the end justify the means in political leadership. That is true actually. End justify the means. What is the final outcome, that is more important rather than what course of action you have taken. According to Machiavelli, if you want to be in power and you have to lie to the people in order to be in power, being a politician or being a leader, so that is justified. You don't have to be brutally honest. You don't have to do the good karmas or good action. If you are doing bad karmas, if you are doing a lot of corruption also, but it is helping you to be in power, then that is also justified. So this is what the end justify the means. If you are bringing the good marks, this is what it matters. If you are cracking the JRF, this is what it matters. It does not matter that what means what course of action you have followed. Have you studied all the concept in detail, or you just did, these 1000 important question and my test series and all, and you got the JRF? You can get like that also. So that's the point actually. The end matters rather than what the process is. This is what the Machiavelli talks about. So second statement is correct. Third one, the prince emphasizes pragmatism over idealism in governance. Yeah, he was a realist thinker, so therefore he emphasizes the pragmatism over idealism in governance. Okay, so third one is also correct. Fourth one, Machiavelli advocated for republican principle in his book Discourses on Levy. So yeah, actually he supported the republican government, but he supported the republican government for those society which have the civic sense, who do not, like peak on the floor after eating the pan and gutkas, right? For those kind of society who are really educated. So his first choice was the Republican government. But talking about Italy, he said that okay, Prince would be the only person who can rule the Italy. He talked about the brute force which is required to rule Italy because Italy was really a corrupt society. That's why, okay. So there must be a strong leader in order to, like settle the things, in order to stabilize the society so that he could punish the people who are doing bad and who are not disciplined and could make them disciplined, right? So this is the point over here. So that's also correct option. This is also correct option. This is also correct option. First one is wrong because ruler must not act morally. First option is saying that ruler must act morally, should always, like speak truth, should always, like keep away from corruption and all, but nothing like that Machiavelli talks about. So therefore, option number one is wrong. So wherever you see option number A, you cancel that out. So therefore, option number B is the correct option. I hope you get the point. Okay, let us go to the next one. Socrates believed that the true knowledge could be attained through. So how you can gain the true knowledge? So you can gain the true knowledge by Socratic method of questioning. You just need to ask the question until and unless you are not reaching the ultimate truth. This is what the Socrates told. So therefore option number B is the correct answer. Through philosophical dialogues and questioning, you can achieve that. Okay. Let us go to question number 7. Plato's Republic primarily discusses the concept of. That's very simple. Plato discusses the concept of the ideal state and whatever the other theory, whether that is the theory of justice, theory of education, theory of communism, of property and wife, they all were in order to support the ideal state. Okay, so therefore the main perspective or the main motive of Plato's political thought is to, like create a kind of ideal state, advocate the ideal state. Okay. Now question number 8, what is the concept of golden mean? So what is golden mean? You should not be in extremes. You should not be either completely on right or completely on left. You should be, like you should not think like black and white. You should think in gray. This is what the Aristotle is talking about in the golden mean. There must be the moderation between the extremes, right? You must not eat too much, neither you should eat too little, right? There must be the balance in each and everything. That is called golden mean. The same principle is also advocated by Gautam Buddha, right? And even before, when you talk about Gautam Buddha, so this principle was even advocated by Gautam Buddha even before Aristotle, when Aristotle was there. And that is called Madhyam Marga, right? So there, the people must follow the Madhyam Marg rather than following a lot of, like the extremes, right? This is the point what I'm trying to make. So therefore, option number B is the correct answer. The moderation between the extremes in virtues, that is required. That's the concept of golden mean, which was given by Aristotle. So Cicero emphasized that justice is derived from. So from where you can get the justice? So you can get justice from the human reasoning and natural law. So the law you should make must be based on reason, must be based on reasoning. It must not be, like a kind of inspired from theology, from religion, or anything like that. It must be logical, it must be rational. Then that would be a good law, right? This is what we need to understand. Okay, now let us understand St. Augustine city of God contrast. So St. Augustine city of God contrasts the city of man, right? So which is divine and earthly city. So one is like divine city, which is the city of God, and one is the city of man, that is the earthly city, right? So this is what we need to understand. So option number B would be the correct answer. In fact, I talked about this. This is how, like the big coaching giants are, like buying the testimony and buying our students. So most number of JRF, if you see the ratio, padho to aise had this time. And like I'm not very active on YouTube because I do not get the time. I teach for 6 to 7 hours. There is a lot of things which is going on in my life, so that's why I do not get chance to, teach on YouTube or to teach a fresh batch. But there is a batch you can join, our UGC Net JRF batch, and I could guarantee you the net. And if there would be God grace, you can also crack JRF because JRF is tough, no doubt about that. So you may download our app. Padho to aise. So let us go to question number 11. So this question is about Thomas Hobbes' political theory. So Hobbes described the state of nature as solitary, poor, nasty, brutish, and short. That's true. So state of nature was such a state where each and everyone was at war with each and everyone. So therefore, first statement is correct. The second one, he argued for the social contract to establish a central to establish a strong central authority. That's also true. So his Leviathan was really, really strong. You could not have challenged that Leviathan. So Leviathan was neither accountable nor responsive. These all were the things over there, right? Now talk about the third one. Leviathan advocates for the separation of power in governance. That's false actually, because it was the Locke who for the first time talked about the separation of power in the political thought. Later on, Montesquieu gave the complete concept of separation of power. So if somebody asks who for the first time gave the concept of separation of power, it was actually Locke. Then the Montesquieu later on gave that concept in his book called Spirit of Law. That is the book by Montesquieu. Okay. So over here, if you see the king, so king was the legislature also. He was making the law. King was also responsible for implementing the law. King was also responsible for adjudicating if there was any problem. So settling the dispute. So all the work of legislature, executive, judiciary, everything was done by the king. So that's the point what we have to understand. Okay. So third can't be the correct option. Fourth one is Hobbes justify the absolute monarchy as a solution to civil disorder. Yeah, he said that human nature is bad. In order to control the bad human nature, there must be a absolute monarchy who should have a lot of power so that the people could be disciplined. Okay, so option 4 is also correct. So except option 3, everything is correct. So let us cancel this option, this option, this option. So 1, 2, and 4 is correct. Okay, let us go to the next one. Question number 12. Okay, answer this by yourself. I think I should give you the chance to answer. First of all, you think that what could be the answer, like after pausing the video. Then try to restart this video, try to replay this and try to check that which is the correct option. Okay. Which of the following statement are correct about John Locke's view in two treatises of government? Locke argued for the natural rights, that is life, liberty, and property. This is option number 1. Option B, he believed that the government is based on the consent of governed, right? That means government must be based on the consent of governed. This is the second statement. Third one, Locke supported the divine rights of the king. The right to revolution is a core aspect of his political philosophy. Try to answer this. Okay, let us answer this. This is a very easy question. Okay. First of all, Locke is known for the natural right. In fact, he's called the father of natural right in that sense. He advocated for three natural rights. He advocated for a lot of natural rights, but three were most important: right to life, liberty, and property. He also said that there must be the consent of governed. Right, it is also very important. He also said that there must be the consent of governed. The government must take the consent of governed. That's why the elections are taking place nowadays. Okay, Locke supported the divine right of king. That's false. Divine Right of King was supported by Robert Filmer, who was contemporary to John Locke, and they were debating together. Divine Right of King theory says and that the king is created by the God, actually, by himself. And king is the representative of God. So you should not go against king. This is what the divine right theory says. So medieval thinker, whether that's Saint Aquinas or Saint Augustine, they were actually talking about this theory. In modern times, Robert Filmer was talking about this theory, okay, who was contemporary to John Locke. Now, option number four is like, okay, right to revolution is given in the political philosophy. If the government is not working in your favor, you could revolt. So therefore, option number three was wrong. Rest of them was correct. So option number D is the correct answer for this. Okay, let us go to the next one. Which of the following thinkers, okay, who gave the separation of power? For the first time, it was given by Locke, but generally we say that separation of power was given by Montesquieu. So Montesquieu would be the correct answer in his book Spirit of Law. Okay, let us go to the next one. Now here you need to tell me about the general will, that which of the following is true about Jean-Jacques Rousseau's general will. Okay, so general will represent the collective good of the community. It always align with the majority opinion in a democracy. Rousseau argued that the individuals must subordinate their private interest to the general will. The concept of general will is central to the social contract. Yeah, that's true actually. Let us understand this. So, general will is talking about the collective good of the community. A general will is a very deep concept. I will not be able to explain over here. It will take a lot of time. The video on Rousseau is available on our YouTube channel. You could search over here, and I have explained with such a manner that you could write that option in your PSI or optional too. So, over here, general will represent the collective good of the society. It is talking about the common good of the society. That's true. Option number two, it aligns with the majority opinion. No, actually, general will does not align with majority opinion. It align with the opinion of all. Everybody must be included in the general will, not just the majority. That's the point. Okay. According to Rousseau, individual must subordinate their private interest to the general will, because general will is based on the collective good, the common good. Okay. On the other hand, the private interest is actually not in the favor of the community. So a person must subordinate the private interest to the general will, which is in the greater good. Now, option number four, obviously, the general will is the core concept of the social contract, which is written by Rousseau himself. So, except option number three, sorry, if except option number two, everything is correct. So, which is the correct answer? Option number B is the correct answer, right? One, three, and four. I hope you get the point. Okay. Let us go to the next one. So here they are asking the statement about Jeremy Bentham. Bentham defined utility as the greatest happiness of greatest number. Second option is he introduced the philosophic calculus to measure the pleasure and pain. Bentham distinguished between the higher and lower pleasure. Introduction to the principle of moral and legislation. This is a name of a book. Outline his utilitarian philosophy. Try to answer this. Okay, let me answer this one. Obviously, if you know about utilitarianism, it talks about greatest happiness of greatest number. So therefore, option number one is correct. Option number two is also correct because Bentham for the first time developed a kind of formula which is called the philosophic calculus. That calculus could be used in order to measure that how much pain you incurred. From here only, the concept of compensation came. If suppose if someone is dying for the country, being a soldier, right? If there are martyrs, can you compensate their family? Is it possible? In material sense, you can, but is it possible in moral sense? You can't actually compensate to their family. But if there would be no compensation policy, then how the society will work? So there must be some compensate, like the compensation policy. So therefore, the Bentham is very important because he was very practical. If suppose I'm breaking your iPhone, so that may be gifted by your grandfather, and he's no more. But like you can't kill me for that purpose. Understanding my point, that this was gifted by my grandfather, how you broke this down. So I can't do anything if I did that by mistake. Then what you could do, like actually, you could measure your pain that you broke my mobile phone. Due to that, I incurred this amount of pain, and I need the compensation in the material, like dimension, in the material things. You should give me money or do something or buy like a new iPhone, something like that. So for that, you need to actually calculate what is the pain or you incurred actually. So this is how the philosophic calculus is helping us in order to know that how much pain you incurred, right? How much pain or how much problem you faced due to a certain thing. Bentham never distinguished among the higher and lower pleasure. According to Bentham, all the pleasures are same. In fact, he gave one statement that is called Puspin is as good as poetry. So he says that there is a game called Puspin in Britain that is like Ludo. So he said that playing Ludo give equal pleasure as it is like doing poetry. So both are not different. Like you can take alcohol also and could have the same amount of pleasure as compared to like having meditation. So for him, the types of pleasure was not the matter of concern. He was just saying that all pleasures are same. So he never distinguished. So that statement is wrong. In fact, his student, not student, rather a kind of family friend, or like his uncle, like family uncle, you could say, whose name was J. Smell. J. Smell actually questioned that. He said for the first time that pleasures are of different kind. Pleasure could be a higher pleasure, it could be a lower pleasure also at the same time. Okay. So third statement is wrong. Fourth one is correct. That is the name of the book, Introduction to the Principle of Morals and Legislation. It outlines the utilitarian philosophy. So option three is wrong. Otherwise, all of them are correct. So option number A is the correct answer. Let us go to the next one. Okay, so what is the main concept in the Rousseau's like social contract? That's general will. We already discussed about this. Let us move to the next question. Question number 17. Who wrote the book Spirit of Law? We already discussed about this. Montesquieu wrote that book. Here only he talked about the separation of power. Okay. And now, who is associated with the like utilitarian principle of greatest happiness of greatest number? Obviously, Jeremy Bentham. Now we discussed about utilitarianism. Now, here is the book what you have to match. It's very simple. Leviathan was written by Thomas Hobbes. Prince by Machiavelli. I think there, where is that option? Okay, yeah. So Prince is by Niccolo Machiavelli. Second Treaty of Government is by Locke. And Discourses on the Origin of Inequality, which is called Second Discourse, was written by Rousseau. So you can check that option as per this. Okay. Now, what is categorical imperative? This is a very important concept, very interesting also. So the concept of categorical imperative was given by Immanuel Kant. This is the first thing. In this concept, Kant says that you should do only such action which you expect from the other people. If suppose you lost your purse, so what you accept from other people, what you expect from them? You expect from them that if I lost my purse, there is my number, there is my identity card. People should call me and should return my purse. This is what your expectation is as compared to the other people. So if you expect this from other people, you should also do such things only in the case of other people. So if you found a purse, you should not keep that. You should actually try to return to that person. So you should only do such action which you expect that other people should do if you are in this situation. This is what the categorical imperative is. And these kind of action can be universalized. If you ask any person in this universe, in this world, that if you lost your purse, what you expect from the other person who will found that purse, they will say, okay, I expect that that person will try to ring me, try to find me, and try to return that purse. So that action can be universalized. Everybody will support that. So this is what the categorical imperative is. Just give me 1 minute. Like I'm talking like since 2 hours. That's why I'm tired a bit. See, so option number B is the correct answer. Actions are moral if they are done out of duty and can be universalized. those actions are only moral and acceptable, which actually which you can universalize, which all the person should accept, right? In other words, categorical imperative in simple languages, you should do such action what you expect from the other people in that situation. This is what it means. Okay, let us go to question number 21. So Friedrich Nietzsche actually gave the power of Übermensch, right? This is like a kind of German word you have to understand, right? So this is called the concept of Superman in English, right? So who is a Superman? Superman is a person who is actually going beyond the traditional value, who is not accepting the superstitions and whatever the cultural restraints are made for him, right? In fact, there are some cultural constraint and restriction upon women that they should not study or they should like marry early in some of the orthodox society. So if a woman is trying to surpass these, supersede these traditional value and trying to challenge that like traditional value and trying to gain more and more education, so that is actually called the concept of overman. So she will become a superman, understanding my point. So superman is every person in this world who challenges the irrational logical, irrational illogical, whatever the superstitious tradition conventions we have in the society. Okay, so option number B is the correct answer. Superman is one who create his own value beyond the conventional morality. Okay, this is what we have to understand. Let us go to question number 22. On liberty, a foundational text advocating for individual freedom and limited government intervention. So on liberty was written by J.S. Mill. Okay, John Stuart Mill. This is what you have to understand. What is the central concept in the Karl Marx theory? So that is alienation. He talks about the alienation of the labor or the worker class in the capitalism. Okay. Now there are some books what you have to match. So first of all, there is Communist Manifesto. You have to match with Karl Marx. Wealth of Nation, very important book. The year is also important, 1776. So by Adam Smith. Democracy in America, Alexis de Tocqueville. He also gave the concept of tyranny of majority, very important. Immanuel Kant, the critique of pure reason. This is what you have to understand. Question number 25. What is the concept of hegemony? Hegemony means the capitalists are not just trying to control you by dominating the economic resources in the society, they also dominate the cultural resources, they dominate media, education system, they propagate their way of living, and they try to convey us that see the way we are living with a big car, with a big house, this should be the good way to live. You may live in the polluted city like Delhi, you may be in taking or inhaling the breath equal to the 20 cigarette, but then also you are very much motivated by the capitalist society that you should become such a rich business person that you should buy uh, what that is called 50 gaj flat in Gurgaon and you should feel rich, which is not true at all. In fact, the tribal people in our Jharkhand, they are more prosperous, they are more happy as compared to the people who are in Gurgaon city actually. Trust me. So I hope you are getting the point. So hegemony is all about the ideological dominance, cultural dominance, which is done by the capitalist society. So this is option number B. We are done with 25 more question in this regard, in including four like different lecture. We have discussed total of 100 question. We will try to discuss 1000 question in all. So I request you to support this initiative because I really don't get any time at all. I'm doing my extra effort in order to make these 40 videos. I already have made 4. If you like, subscribe, and if you give a like better response, I will try to make more and more video. There is not much content available in English in UGC NET JRF, so I'm trying to contribute to the English medium student. This is my purpose. And you can also buy our test series, our courses. Trust me, they are best and you can achieve your goal. So thank you so much and have a good day ahead and have a good night ahead at whatever time you are watching this. So thank you so much once again.